We're here with the ink pen for the raised lettering on tires. I already started one coat over here, you can see it, and I apologize for the iPhone quality, but I'm not a professional YouTuber yet. But I wanted to share my experience with this particular product. It is the tire ink permanent marker lettering for tires. You need to do 2 to 3 coats minimum, they tell you, and they're absolutely right. You have to do at least 3 coats. This right here, if I'll back up for resolution, you can see is 1 coat on the E, R, and the O, and 2 coats on the P and the Z. It may look good on the camera quality here, and I have a lot of bright 4,000 Kelvin fluorescent lighting over here, so it's gonna make it look good, but in reality, it's when you get up close, you can kind of see that it's not perfect yet on the second coat, so I will have to do a 3rd coat. But the most frustrating thing I can share with this process, which they don't tell you on the how-to videos from the company, is that first coat is a pain in the butt. Not in the sense that it's labor intensive. There is labor to it, and it is a little intensive, but that's not the problem. The problem is, no matter how much you prep the surface with acetone, you can wipe 50 times, you never get the tire perfectly clean. And so what happens is that first marker that you use winds up getting darkened and dirty on the tip, and it winds up clogging the ink. And then you wind up rubbing the ink over itself, and you get this blotchy kind of appearance. And it's very frustrating mentally when you're looking at it, because you feel like it's a failed exercise. And you kind of wonder, if you started a project you wish you hadn't. But I can assure you, when you go to the second coat, it's a lot easier and the ink flows a lot smoother, and then you can get that second coat on, you feel a lot better about your project. So don't give up, it's a good product. I can't testify to how it holds up on the street and from car washes and etc. But so far it is aesthetically pleasing, for sure. Let me take a look at some of the other tires here. So this is 2 coats right here. These are Pirelli P0s. Unlike a lot of other tires, Pirelli doesn't stagger its Pirelli and its P0 brand name at the 180-degree mark from each other. They're kind of on the same side of the hemisphere, if you will, but that's okay. But that looks pretty good. That's 2 coats. 2 coats, and here's the tire on the side. There you go. I'm gonna hit that with a 3rd coat, and it should be pretty good. The other good news is regarding cleanup. If you drop some of the ink on another part of your tire and you start cursing, don't worry. Just use the same acetone on a paper towel or rag and wipe it right up. Acetone is amazing. It just pulls this stuff right off the tire surface. So it's very easy to clean up. And I would suspect that if you wind up changing your mind down the line, you want to get rid of the lettering, you just wipe the letters with acetone for a few coats, and it'll start to come off. It'll dissolve quickly, which also causes me a little concern for the long-term wearability of this particular ink. But you know, look, it's not permanent, so it's the best you're going to be able to do on your own for do-it-yourselfer. So anyway, I'm going to show you guys a little bit of the pen application. Here, this is the pen I've been using for the 2nd coat. It's the 2nd marker of the 3 that I bought. It's flowing a lot better, and I'm getting a lot better at doing it with the 2nd one. So definitely, if you're gonna order this, buy 3 at a minimum, maybe 4 if you wanna be extra safe. So I take the cap off. Be careful not to get that on the ping pong table. And then here we go here. So kind of get, I'm an older guy, so you know, I gotta take off my glasses so I can see up close. I'm gonna try to get this where I can have you guys see what I'm doing here. So you gotta press it down and hold it, and it pops out again. See that? Press it down, and then the ink starts to flow. There we go. A lot easier on the 2nd coat with the 2nd pen. That 1st pen, you're gonna get dirt in the tip, it's gonna darken, it's gonna get clogged, you're gonna curse. You gotta resign yourself that this is a multi-night job, let it dry overnight. Don't wait 20 minutes like they told you on the video, that's not right. You wanna get it nice and dry, especially you have that raised lip. I don't know if you guys can see on the letters here. If that raised lip, you have to kind of go over with kid gloves. And if you go too hard, even on the second coat, you wind up scraping off the old coat, which is another thing that causes me concern. But again, it's a delicate process, and this is a do-it-yourself project. So again, it's not going to be ultra permanent, but you can see how. And I apologize for the quality of the video. I'm using an iPhone 8. One day I'll get my act together and get a real GoPro or something and start the whole YouTube process for professional viewability and sound. I love everybody that does that. I watch videos every night. It's fantastic stuff. I want to share this with you guys because sometimes those videos that people post are too perfect, you know. I want to show you guys the trouble you might have with this, but I wouldn't be posting this with you guys if I didn't think this product was good. It definitely is an ink. It definitely looks good after the second coat. I think the third coat's going to make it really pop. So now, see, I just did one letter, the E. Now the ink starts to kind of clog and dry at the tip of the pen. So you got to go ahead and I do a little bit of shaking, a little bit, not too much, otherwise it'll fall on your tire. And then I push it down for like 2 seconds, and then you can see it start to flow again. All right, so let's get this like this. Don't push too hard because you wind up digging up that first layer. And again, I'm assuming that the third coat is going to be really simple because the consistency of the second coat will make it smoother on the surface of the tire. And I'll be able to just run right over and make like a final basic top coat. And once you step back a few feet from the tire, you know, all anybody would think is that, hey, you got from the factory, raised white lettering. Unless you go really up close and you're anal retentive and you start inspecting somebody's tire, well, you'll be able to tell. And I think that's good enough for most people. But it does beg the question, and I would love to know from the tire industry why they don't make options to buy tires for enthusiasts that have the money to get raised colored lettering. You know, if you're going to buy a Michelin Pilot Sport 4S or a Pirelli P0 or Hankook or whatever you want to buy, why don't, just to make more money in marketing, why don't they just give you more choice and say, hey, I want the one with the raised yellow lettering, let the factory, you know, add that in vulcanized or felted or whatever they do to make that for the racing teams. Make it available for the customer. You know, just a la carte customization. Makes me think that the amount of car guys out there left in the world are so small that the companies don't think it's worth it to go through the trouble of offering those options. Figure the take rate is so small. We're such a niche customer base, all the hoonigans like us. I bet that's what it is from a business perspective. But that's a shame because, man, I don't know about you guys, but for a couple extra bucks, if I can get permanent high quality raised lettering with the brand name embossed in a raised fashion, or the model of your cool tire, whatever it is, you know, and we car guys know the cool tires out there, and we see them, we give a lot of respect to the driver because we know he chose the right rubber. You want to show that off, you know, but when it's hidden in black and it's camouflaged, what the hell? What's that all about? Why keep it a secret? So from a business perspective, it's a branding snafu too, right? Don't you want to showcase your stuff? So anyway, enough chit chat there. That's the second coat. And again, there's only so much resolution I'm going to be able to get you guys, but that's the process. It's time consuming, but it's therapeutic time, and you'll enjoy it, and you'll wind up looking at your tires, and they'll wind up looking good when you're done. But again, I'll post another video later on as to the durability on the street once they're on for the season. These are summer tires. I'm not going to put them on until probably mid-April in the Northeast region. So it'll be a while before I post the video back, but I'll let you know how they handle up to the cleaners and the tire shine and the weather and so forth. But there you go.